Okay, guys, wrapping up day 3 of Munich HighEnd 2023. Actually, it's like 2:30 in the morning, and started with a fabulous dinner with the Airy Surat crew. But then a few of us went out afterward in that town square area because we really hadn't spent much time other than going to the convention, at least me. And that was fun. Hopefully, you watched my YouTube shorts. It was just like being in America, especially in Houston on a Saturday night. Had a good time. I gave up drinking this month because I started doing a workout and weight loss. And what I learned from the trainer is that liquor, all liquors kind of cut off your body's ability to burn fat. It's not really the calories itself that do it, but the fact that it kind of shuts off your body ability to burn fat. So I had been trying to be faithful to that, giving up liquor this month, but had to try Munich beer while I'm in Germany, and then at the club. Don't tell my trainer, okay? Anyway, great day today, but it's so late. I don't want to do a long wrap up like I've done on other days. I'm going to have my normal wrap up when I get back to Houston, best of, and I'll put in some pictures and all the stuff that I normally do, more curated content. But wanted to just highlight off the cuff, no list or anything, what stood out to me today. Now, it started off really great with the Vitus audio. He recognized me, Hans recognized me in the hallway, pulled me in there because I couldn't even see in that room. Some of them block what you could actually see in the room, which when you're on a tight time frame and can't get to all the rooms, that's actually a negative at a show like this because there's so many rooms. There's still rooms I would have liked to have got to that I couldn't. But anyway, I'm glad he did because I didn't know Vitus Audio made this black and white. As you guys know, if you're a longtime subscriber at least, black and white is my preferred color combination for all gear. I love that contrast, and I do it obviously with my MBL Extremes that I built myself, painted myself. I had the custom McCormick amps made in that black and white contrast. So it's just something I love. And man, the Vitus audio in black and white is so much better for my taste than the normal gray that I've seen in the past. And parlaying, and the room itself was beautifully done with Art Novian treatment. So big props to them for doing a great job with their room, just on an aesthetic level. And then sound quality wise, excellent with the Focal speakers. And a tape deck I'd never seen before, a European tape deck. So that was memorable. But it just got even more memorable during the day. I did go back and do some second visits to rooms. And when I went into the Estelon with the Aura, that speaker I realized matches perfectly with the black and white with the Vitus. And guess what? They both share the same distributor. Aldo's not here, at least I haven't seen him. But he needs to put a room together with that Vitus black and white and the Aura in the black and white. That is going to be, hey, if that doesn't pass the wife acceptance factor, you either need to get a new wife or a new hobby because that is so beautiful. But speaking of wife acceptance factor, I might have that problem because the biggest takeaway for today, well, let me save that for a second. There was another room even before I got to my biggest takeaway, not only for today, but probably the show. I went into the Western Electric room, and let me tell you, it was a packed room, but I was patient, and eventually I got that center seat. And not only are the electronics cool, 300B, Western Electric, so much legend and history with that, and people swear by 300B tube amps and whatnot. It's not that much of a religion to me to do it. I do appreciate it when I hear those. But what the takeaway in that room was the tweeter, I forget what it's called, but anyway, the Western Electric, it's some kind of weird tweeter that it does design, but it was very impressive once I got in that center position. I don't even know what the model is. Again, that room is so packed. Today was just so crowded as well. Just getting to the venue took extra time because the traffic was so heavy, people wanting to come today, driving in. So I didn't want to just, blurt out questions in certain rooms where it just wasn't conducive. So I don't even have the model number, but that Western Electric speaker was extremely impressive. But what trumped everything today, and probably for the entire show in terms of surprises and biggest delta, is this EO speaker. IO Designs is the name of the company. And I was at Via Blue, and they were just a few doors down, and I noticed the door was open. I never would have went in that room not knowing anything. I had seen a picture of this speaker before the show, and I was like, man, I want to see that, but I just really hadn't put it in my preview video. IO Designs was not in that, if you rewatch. But I decided to go in there, and man, I was blown away by this speaker. So much so that it's not even stuff you have to listen to me talk about. If you just watch all my videos and actually watch my show coverage for other shows, look, go back 2 years. How often do I go to a room 3 times within a half a day, within a few hours? I was like so impressed at first. Then I had to listen again, go back again. And especially at this show is one show where I'm not staying often more than one song or even one song. I mean, there's 2 reasons for that. Number one, the rooms are not that great. And number 2, my system is now to the point, especially with the Bach, where if I'm not hearing something that is better, or at least I sniff a potential better than what I have at home, it's just hard for me to stay and spend time there when I can go look at other things. And so subliminally, the biggest tell, more than my words can talk about, is what I actually did with the EO Designs room. I stayed in there, multiple songs, went back multiple times. I kept on saying, this cannot be that good. I mean, the bass was among the best I've ever heard. And right up there with like Ari Surratt, the open baffle, but backwave bass. This one's a true open baffle. The common denominator that I heard is between the Ari Surratt Aurora and this EO Designs. They both used in those speakers acoustic elegance drivers, which are very expensive and very high end. But you can never just say, oh, because of this driver, or this paper driver, this material type, Lundahl transformers, which I also featured today. Don't make the mistake of just saying because of this part is in a piece or used that you can make conclusions. That's a surefire way of somebody you don't want to listen to. Say, carbon fiber drivers, I don't like that. Paper drivers, I don't like that. Accuton drivers. It's all about the implementation of these. It's much more sophisticated than that. And so when people just make categoric generalizations like that, those are the people you don't want to listen to ever again. But you want to listen to and understand is some commonalities, though, with the parts and how people implement them properly. Those are the people that you really want to look at, and people pushing the hobby forward, like I've shown in prior videos. Wilson Benesh, that's what I like to feature. Innovative brands, pushing the brand forward, pushing the industry forward, and using parts properly to get the maximum performance. And whatever IO Designs is doing, I've got to look more into their website and whatnot and their pedigree, but there's nothing that will really trump me listening to it personally over and over again. And I think a lot of comments that I saw on my videos were saying it was clear even in my video footage that this room was better than a lot of other ones that I've filmed. And I would agree. When I was there, it's just, man, I didn't want to get up. That's a subliminal clue that you cannot override. And I think, again, the bass was great. The purity of the mid-range, the coherence of those drivers, that planar mid-range and tweeter, I mean, just perfect, low distortion that was as good as I've ever heard from a speaker in terms of distortion profile. And then the coherency of all those drivers made me realize, think I wasn't listening to a speaker. And I'm going to go into more detail when I get back, when I get my best of awards. I'm going to explain to you, I just don't want to get into tonight at 2:30 in the morning. I don't have time. What I listen for when I go to these rooms, so you have a better impression of when I give awards and when I don't, why I do, and see if it syncs with you or not. Because like I said, what I say may not apply to you, but if you've consistently heard and liked what I've recommended, this may help you understand exactly why as well, because it's taken me a while to understand my own taste better. And it really, everything that EO Designs did just hit the mark in terms of, man, I started thinking of, and I haven't thought of this for a while, even though I've had cost no object speakers that I'd love to have, the Aries Syrah, the MBLs, all these speakers that I've heard that are in that bucket. If I ever had won the lottery, I would do. But I started thinking of what can I do to get this speaker, just like I did when I heard the Stax X9000K, when I heard the Bach and had to buy that. I had that same feeling today when I listened to the EO Designs, and I'm like, how can I swing this? How can I get that past the wife acceptance factor, both on budget and looks? Looks, I think I'm fine because I have that dedicated room, but that speaker is phenomenal. And one of the reasons I went back is I was like, because I was thinking of these things, I said, I got to make sure on variety of material. So I went back, heard male vocals, requested female vocals. If I have time tomorrow, that's probably the room I went to. And I really cut off doing any other rooms after that point for the rest of the day. Not just because I didn't think I could hear anything better, but because I was also tired. It's been exhausting doing this coverage for you guys. And I appreciate those you guys that have done super thanks and contributed. That's much appreciated. Let me tell you, every day, let me tell you some other ancillary things unrelated to the show. If you do come here and budget for coming here, budget for a lot of money being spent. Food, taxis, all this. I mean, I've spent on Ubers and taxis on average $150 to $200 a day. Now, staying out here at the airport Hilton is part of the problem because it's far, but there's a free shuttle to get me there every morning. It's still staying out if you want to go to dinner and all this stuff coming back. It's quite pricey, so plan for that accordingly. But the other one benefit I've learned is that I haven't been to Europe in decades, so this was very enjoyable to get reacquainted with Europe. But tipping here is much different than in Houston, Texas, where we're used to tipping a minimum 20%, sometimes 30%. My friend tips 50 to 100%. He's got unlimited cash in budget. But anyway, tipping is huge in America, but for Ubers and drinks, they'll give you the little thing, and the max that you have a chance to click is 10%. Unheard of in the States. So you do save on that, but just wanted to give you a little bit of delta. The food was great. All 3 meals I've had here in Munich as well. Food's great. If you don't speak the language, you're fine. So giving you a little bit tidbits now after 3 days. I'm very impressed with Munich. I definitely will come back. It's fun. The show is fun. And what I love is exploring and finding brands like EO Designs and getting to meet firsthand people now in their backyard, like Via Blue, and the people that are designing like the MBLs. There's so many great brands here in Germany and in Europe that now you get to see their entire line. You get to meet their designers. This is what I look for versus just sound quality and giving you audiophile jargon, making conclusions after one song. That's another red flag, guys. That's not show report that you really want to put a lot of stock in, especially at this show. The noise floor, as you've seen, all the people talking, the bleed through from the other rooms, the rooms themselves. Even when they build out their own room, there's only so much you can do. So you don't want to fall for primitive judgments. But I still will have my best of list, but it's going to be based on more than just sound quality. What are they doing innovative? What are they doing right, in my opinion? What are they doing that's pushing the industry forward? That's what the major takeaway from my show coverage is this time, and that's what I hope to have shared in all my videos, and hopefully you enjoyed. So next stop, though, tomorrow, won't have too many videos from the show. I'm headed off to In Acoustic to visit their facility for the next day. So that might take a little while to do that video, but that'll be down the pipe too. Take a look at my YouTube shorts if you haven't, and I'll see you back here soon.